Hi everybody and welcome to the Money Man Show. I'm here with Ollie Keohane, Money Boy. What a crazy year to try and become the money boy, become a man.
Yeah, not the year, just hasn't happened.
Yeah, but at least, you know, when you walk down the street, no one goes dead man walking. I've got diabetes, hypertension, erectile dysfunction, all sorts of diseases that
But you look strong.
What do they say? Looks are deceiving. What a year for sports, Ollie, and I don't mean that in a good way.
Yeah, no, not at all. Weird year for sports, just in that things are slowly sort of coming back to normal, but it's not quite normal, you know?
No, and you know what I'm finding is that the form guides are irrelevant. You've got soccer teams playing every 3 days. It should, like a club like Barcelona, for example, it should suit them to have a big squad, and the advantage should be for them. But I'm seeing Barcelona looking like 11 grumpy old men out on the field.
Well, I mean, it looks like training runs, and it sounds like training runs when you watch the game. It's like you can hear the coach yelling, the players sort of swearing at each other. Yeah. And then one kind of whistle blow and it echoes through the stadium.
And in some games, people swearing at each other is the only entertainment, because it's you know, the fake sounds on TV I equate to the sound of Meg Ryan doing that fake orgasm in that movie long ago. I can't even remember what it was, and it just doesn't resonate for me, you know.
Yeah.
What are your views on the empty stadiums?
I mean, I think it affects results a lot more than you would want it to initially, but it does, because you just think.
Well, it's taken away home advantage, hasn't it?
It's completely taken, and we saw that in the Bundesliga. We were both quite keen to get back and start betting on that. Placed a few bets, and it was like any kind of home away form just went completely out the window. But like along with that came the number of goals scored, home and away, even the number of corners. So the 1 week I remember you try to take a different approach, look at like total corners. It worked for the one. And then for the next game, it was a complete bomb out, because even that's now changed, you know?
Yeah.
Because the whole nature of...
Well, the nature of football is that the home team has an onus to attack.
Yeah.
Which usually, you know, when you read the form guides, the average corners per first half, second half, average corners at home, all the stats that I like to try and look into and dissect, it has thrown a bit of that out the window. But let's chat about rugby for a second. We're not going to chat about Australian rugby, because I don't care about it.
Because no one's chatting about it.
No one's chatting about it. And any bet I make on Australian rugby that's televised, we'll be doing in running.
Yeah.
You know, after I get a feel for the game and get a good weather report.
Well, that's how you've been sort of approaching the New Zealand rugby as well, which I think is
well, I think I'm 11-2 in Super Rugby this year.
Yeah. I think I'm 1 from 5.
Yeah.
So
well, I might have to downgrade you to Money Lad.
Yeah.
For money. Well, no, that would be an upgrade. I don't know. Well, we'll think about it. But look, it's been launching your money boy career and looking to get into sports. There's been no tougher market to get into. So we're going to wipe the slate clean in a while, and we've decided that we're going to put our money into one company, Betway, and we're going to have a competition between the two of us to see who can turn 10,000 Rand starting with into the most money. So we'll be making bets. I'll be making bets on EA Sports, on anything, you know?
But responsible ones.
Responsibly irresponsible for me. No,
but everyone will be able to see them. So
I've always been a champion for responsible gambling, and that's what the whole show is about. But when we're having fun, me against you, I'm going to have some fun with it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll introduce an accumulator. Start playing around with some accumulator bets.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the weekends. But Super Rugby also, it's been great for me to watch just quality rugby. I think it's been the most enjoyable rugby games, and
full stadiums.
And full stadiums. So, you know, I think that's been a great domestic thing for New Zealand too, to just have their crowds back, because their crowd attendance, even though they were dominating Super Rugby, the crowd attendance was terrible pre-COVID. But as nice as it's been to watch the games, my bets haven't been coming off, and it's been sort of, you know, small margins and everything. But when you look at it in play, is probably the way to go. And looking at total points over and under, and then maybe adjusting your handicaps during the game. But pre-game, it's been tough.
It's not, it's not easy, but there is some value out in the marketplace if you're willing to do the homework. You know, it's like I was saying to your pops earlier on. When I ask people for their opinion on a game, I don't do that because I'm confused as to what's going to happen. I just may not know it until I get enough information.
For sure.
You need the weather report, and it's not a weather report on Auckland for the week. It's a game day weather report, hour upon hour, of what's going to happen. You know, because that has a huge impact. Because as soon as the one value bet I saw this weekend was Crusaders versus the Chiefs. No, was it the Chiefs?
Crusaders Chiefs, yeah.
Crusaders Chiefs. Everybody thought it was going to be a tri-fest, or it was going to be over. The bookies had
12.5, yeah.
The bookies had them favored by 12.5 and to high low of 53.5, meaning that they were saying that about 53 to 54 points was going to be scored in the game. And as soon as I looked at the weather reports at around 3 in the morning, I was watching the UFC that night.
Great fight.
Great fight. Was looking at the weather reports. Even the weather reports said it wasn't going to rain at the time during the game, but it was going to be damp and cold. And I know playing rugby, when I used to play rugby, a damp and cold game naturally slows it up. It's a bit of an equalizer. And 12.5 point handicap seemed a bit ambitious to me, though I didn't take the bet because it was still a bit uncertain. But the one at 53.5 total points looked like incredible value. I pegged the game at around 44 points, and I think there was even less than that.
Yeah, it was 18-13, so what's that?
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, 31. I mean, I think people also overestimate New Zealand sides in terms of that it's always going to be a points fest, but when they're playing each other and it's the derbies, it's, you know, as tough as a South African derby, arguably, in terms of the nature of the match, physical, not high points, you know?
Yeah.
It's not going to be, none of those sides are really going to leak points against each other.
Indeed. Indeed.
So yeah, I'm going to be looking towards more in-play ones this weekend and try and sort of bring back up my average, because
that's you've got to walk before you run, and it hasn't been the best conditions for running betting. I mean, like to get up and make good profits, but you know, these are challenging times, and we do what we can.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on? I know Man City are playing Liverpool this weekend.
I don't know, but that'll be an interesting one, because it's how do they get up for that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Man City's still in the cup, FA Cup. So how much is that taking out of them? They're clearly focused on the cups that they can win, and the FA Cup's one of them. Liverpool have won the league 7 games out. That's a record. Yeah. And how do they get up for after winning the Premier League? I
mean, you mentioned to me there's also those individual sort of carrots, though. Mo Salah going for a golden boot, that kind of thing. It's like, do they
proper, yeah.
Do they start? You know, is that what they're playing for? Do they kind of also just further the legacy of, like, they've won the thing, but they're still coming out and blasting teams?
Well, I think there's still records to be chased.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough game to call, and
Liverpool looked tough too, because I mean they looked very tired coming back, and then ended off their last game was then a 4-0
thrashing
victory
of Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So, but again, it's soccer. It's like half the games are looking lackluster. Then there's a blowout game away from home, you know, and now the cup's finished. So the Premier League's, you know, it's won. So there's also that kind of dead rubber element to it.
Yeah. Well, that's why as a responsible gambler, you've got to be doing your homework.
Yeah.
You know, you don't just sit down before a game and go, I think these guys are going to win. You've got to look at all of the websites, the stats, flashscore.com for form.
Yeah.
You've got the stats don't lie. You've got SofaScore. You've got all these wonderful tools out there to educate you more. And if you want to be a good gambler, you've got to use them.
I think that's probably the most frustrating thing, though, is actually, and I'm sure a lot of people would have suffered this, I did, is doing your homework on the form guides pre-COVID-19, putting a lot of sort of thought into your bets, and then it just goes completely in contrast to what everything suggests. So I think one needs to start developing these post-COVID form guides and actually looking at what trends are emerging now. You know, so in soccer, it's away goals have gone up by like 50% or something like that. You know, it's looking at, okay, maybe there's value in the away market for goals, and adjusting your bets according to a new form guide.
Yeah.
Because it's very frustrating to have done all your homework right, and like you always talk about placing the right bet, even if you thought it was the right bet, you know, but then it's...
Yeah.